Hey, Salvador. Hey, how's it going, man?
Hey, what's up? Everything
Mm.
good here. What about you?
All is well here, just chilling out.
Okay, let's see where this goes to. Uh, have you
Okay.
ever heard of Joe Watson or The Art of Accomplishment?
Yeah, I've heard of him. I don't know much about him, but I've definitely heard of him on a podcast or a few podcasts.
Oh, okay, so you've never like really searched for him, or like you don't really know him.
No, I don't know him very well.
Okay, interesting.
Yeah,
Yeah.
what makes you think about him?
Oh no. I mean, um I've been following him for a while, and I tried to listen to. Do you know who Charlie Eupert is?
I don't think so. No, that name doesn't
Okay.
ring a bell.
Yeah, I've been following him, and I bought a course of him a week ago,
Mhm.
so I'm very excited for that. But yeah, I'm not sure what to expect.
Nice. What is it about? Like, what's the course?
Oof, yeah, I'm not sure what he's about, but it's called Connective Course. I know that Lily Tennant has done like this course 10 times, and like she has a like a referral link just for her.
Nice.
Um, it's yeah, it's hard to explain. I'm not entirely sure what the course is about, but um it's like his work is more like about working and uh how to approach like emotions.
Uh-huh.
So I thought because you are into meditation, you might knew him.
Yeah.
So, but have you ever done a meditation retreat?
No, never.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't really like being told what to do, so I don't think it would work well for me. Maybe, I mean, I guess it could, but I'm not really a fan of guided meditations, or
Uh,
I don't like the idea of a meditation retreat.
but do you feel any progress?
Have I been feeling progress?
Yeah, like in your sessions.
For meditation? Not really. Well, it depends on what we mean here. But
Uh,
I don't really focus on it these days.
but do you have like any measure of like a good session and a bad, like a good meditation and a bad meditation?
No.
No, so just oh really? That's interesting.
Yeah, I don't. That doesn't bother me either way.
But like sometimes after a meditation, like you feel better than other times, or is it just the same pretty much?
No, it's definitely not the same. So yeah, sometimes if I'm meditating, well, I don't know what kind of language you like to use here. So, um, like if I'm getting into access concentration or actually
Hmm.
going into jhanas or something like that,
Yeah.
then of course I'm going to feel pretty pleasant after a meditation. But even that's not really necessary. Sometimes I'll just meditate and then I'll notice that my perception's quite different. Um, or I'll just
Mm.
have like sparkly body feeling kind of persisting for a couple hours.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So have you accessed the jhanas?
Oh, yeah, yeah, definitely.
Oh, that's interesting because most people. So how did you ever? Oh, you read Lee Brasington's book, right?
I read Dependent Origination. Yes.
Oh, not the one on jhanas.
No.
Okay. Oh, that's interesting. So how did you like? Yeah, how did you access them if you never had like someone telling you what you should be like looking for, or like even how did you recognize them uh if you never like had a teacher or went to a retreat?
Mm, I don't know how to okay, so I started meditating for fun, and I just enjoyed it.
Hmm.
So I would be able to meditate for, let's say, an hour or sometimes 2 hours pretty consistently without
Yeah.
having any instruction or anything. And
Okay.
I watched I think it was a video from Ajahn I don't
Mhm.
remember which Ajahn. So one of the, like, um, Thailand, I
It
think
said Arjun?
Ajahn.
Oh, Arjun. I have no
Ajahn.
idea who that is. Okay.
Ajahn, I don't remember which one. Ajahn, it just means teacher. It's like a Thai word for teacher.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So somebody in the Ajahn Chah tradition,
Yeah.
and he mentioned something about he just talked about the jhanas. He didn't actually talk about jhanas. He talked about access concentration, and he said that
Yeah.
you need to be in access concentration for like multiple days before you can get into the jhanas. And when that happens, you'll see a nimitta, and he just kind of talked about that stuff. So I was like, all right, well, I guess
Mm.
I'll try. Like I just started paying attention to the thing that he was talking about, and it is very pleasant, and then I looked a little bit deeper and I found some things from Michael Taft about jhanas, and I think it was mostly
Mm.
Michael Taft, his material that I followed. And then
Oh, so you first but, like, did you because I know some people, like, have jhanas, but they only recognize that they had jhanas, like, after. So, like, they don't know like, they have a jhana yesterday, but they didn't knew that there was a jhana,
Mhm.
so they only recognize after. Did that happen with you? Or, like, you knew what the jhanas were, and then you had the jhana?
I knew what they were first. So when I didn't know what jhanas were, I was meditating, and then I would like meditate and then deliberately do like visualizations. So it was
Uh-huh,
it was essentially like walking into a lucid dream.
uh-huh,
So I would do that pretty often.
okay.
But then when I started to learn the jhanas, then I would specifically, instead of imagining, visualizations or anything, I would just pay attention to the feeling in the body. And then that would,
Oh, so did you said learn the jhanas?
like when I learned about them, yeah. Like essentially I
Oh,
just
okay.
learned what they were and then learned what the signs were before each one. So
Oh,
knowing that the body sensation would be very pleasant, was called piti, like learning that
uh-huh,
and then paying attention to that to go into the first jhana. And then learning
right.
learning what to pay attention to get to the second jhana, like the sukha as opposed to the piti, so not the body sensation, but just the pleasure of it. And,
Mhm.
yeah, I just learned those things, and it it was fairly easy for me at that point.
But, and now can you access a jhana every time you want?
I don't think so. I haven't tried,
Oh,
but
really?
yeah.
So, like, you don't do it regularly?
No, I don't try yeah, I don't go into jhanas regularly.
Why?
It feels like effort. So,
Oh, interesting.
yeah, like, there was a time where it felt effortless, like, it was easy to do. And then there
Mhm,
was a time where it felt extremely accessible
uh-huh.
so that I could just do it anytime, and I like, I it w it's even easier than effortless. I don't know how to describe it. It just felt like it was always full-time accessible anytime throughout my life.
Oh,
Eh
so not anymore?
mm, I don't think so. Maybe. There are other pleasant states that seem to be always accessible, but not the
Oh,
jhanas, I don't think.
that's interesting.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So, like, what are, like, the jhanas in a sense when you access the jhanas are, like, the happiest moments, like, you have in a given day or, like, week
Mm,
or in your life for that?
I don't think so. I mean, it's definitely pleasant. I don't know, I guess I just don't I I really don't really it seems kinda weird to even try to quantify the happiness of one moment versus another and then, like, put them in a hierarchy. I guess, like, it is extremely pleasant, so maybe.
Hmm. Do you think, like, that does meditation triggers you more happiness than, like, something outside? Something, like, externally?
To give me more happiness? I
Like, yeah, does it triggers more happiness than something outside than, like, I don't know, like you have a gift of a friend or you're hugging your mom.
Oh, okay. Well, it's definitely more pleasurable. Yeah, like, directly more pleasurable, yes. More
Mm,
happiness, I don't know about more happiness.
so okay. Huh.
But yeah, it feels better. It's like, it's like if to me, it's like if someone says like, is it better to pet a dog or is it better to get a massage from a professional? It's like okay, obviously the professional massage is going to feel better,
Yeah.
but then like, would you seek out a professional massage every week? Yeah, I guess not. I don't think so. Even if it were easily accessible, like maybe, but probably not.
Interesting. Huh. Who do you like to read or listen to in like the meditation sphere? Do you like Sam Harris?
No, I've never listened to Sam Harris meditation stuff. Have I? I definitely I've had his app before, like many many years ago, like 10
Yeah.
or 12 years ago or something like that when it first came out. But not a
Hmm.
big fan.
Why?
I think when I listened to it, I wasn't into meditation, so that's that's probably and I just never listened to it when I was into meditation.
Mm, okay.
Yeah, I don't really listen to anything meditation related these days, not recently.
Huh.
Yeah, but, when I did care to listen to a lot of meditation things, I would listen to Daniel Ingram, liked him a lot,
Uh-huh.
Jeffrey Martin.
Okay.
Um, that's kind of that that's the range of things I like, but I also like there's a person named Frank Yang. Oh my god, I love his material. I then the way that he presents it is really great.
Huh.
He's a cool dude. Um, and there's a couple of, like I said, there's some Thai tradition folks. Ajahn Brahm, he's very funny. I like his stuff. Shinzen Young is great. I like Shinzen.
Oh yeah, he's good. Huh. Interesting. So do you feel like is your like social anxiety near to zero now?
No, oh god, no.
No?
No, no, I have social anxiety. I definitely have social. Well, I guess I don't quite understand what you mean. Like, if I socialize with somebody, anybody,
Yeah.
I'm probably gonna
Yeah.
have like a little bit of like my body will be like a little shaky, like a little vibratory.
Right. Oh, interesting.
So
Yeah.
yeah, I just have like regular social anxiety. But
Okay.
it wouldn't stop me from doing anything. So I've never had
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
social anxiety that would stop me from talking to somebody or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Uh,
But
but as it like
I'm definitely comfortable doing weird stuff. Like I'll yeah, I'll go to a party and I haven't done this in a while, but like when I was into meditation, I would go out often and I would meditate at parties like just in the open. And and some people were cool with that, some people were weirded out by it and whatever, I don't care.
Huh. So, like, in what ways has, like, meditation improved your day-to-day life outside of, meditation itself?
So, the reason why I meditate was to drink tea. My main interest was to drink tea and pay attention to drinking tea. I didn't want to be distracted by other things. So, it has improved that. It definitely makes that much better. That's fun.
I don't understand what you mean. You used
Yeah, I guess.
you used to meditate to drink tea?
Yes, I was obsessed and still am. I was obsessed with drinking tea, like the beverage,
Yeah.
Chinese tea. And there is a sometimes there's like a ceremony around it. I mean, I
Uh-huh.
people call it a ceremony. It doesn't have to be a ceremony, but there's a process to drinking the tea and paying attention to how it changes over time.
What? Wow, that's crazy.
Yeah, so I
Uh,
was super into that, and I didn't wanna be distracted by, you know, seeing things in the news or whatever. So, that was
mhm.
around the time when I started meditating so that I would be less distracted by other things.
So you would meditate and drink the tea.
Yes.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, so
But, yeah.
definitely improved that a lot. It made I could notice what was happening with the tea much better, and it just feels good. Yeah,
Uh,
meditation just feels good.
no, 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 but, like, what insights you get, from it that you apply to your own life, like, on a daily basis?
Mm,
Or, like, isn't there a lot that you get out of it?
I'm thinking a little bit here. I I I don't know if I have, easy, like, insight.
Mm.
My behavior is definitely very different from after meditating from, before and after is very different. So, I'm generally much happier, and
Like, it's not like, it's a calm happiness, it's not like you're super hyped up, it's like it's like a it's more like peaceful
I mean both.
or
So, like, I
both?
I'm also more peaceful, but, like, the highs are more high.
Oh, interesting.
But also definitely more peaceful, more like,
Harmony inside of you, yeah.
yeah, I don't have lows.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, no bad days. I can I think I have a wider range of emotion after meditating,
Good emotions or
a wider range, so all of
uh,
them. I mean, I guess, yeah, I mean, it's wider, so I can feel more emotions, but it's heavily weighted to the good emotions, the pleasant.
oh, but, like, even, like, the bad emotions, like, you feel it and, like, you feel good?
Yes, or they just don't bother me. It's like I don't
Yeah.
they it's fine to happen.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So is that I feel like I have a lot more awareness of just sensations. Yeah, more pleasant
Well,
emotions. I don't know, I don't feel, I'm not too concerned about a lot of things. That might be a problem actually. I'm
yeah.
I'm sometimes a little bit too unconcerned about stuff.
Uh, has it raised your, like, ever your happiness, um, level
Yeah.
outside of meditation?
Yeah, definitely.
Huh,
Most definitely, yeah.
interesting. And are you, like, more I mean, I'm not sure, but I guess you are. You're more grateful and you're more like
No,
no?
no,
What?
I don't.
Really?
Yeah, I don't feel gratitude. I stopped feeling gratitude after meditating a lot.
What? That's funny.
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. No
interesting
gratitude.
because, like, one of the things that I got from meditation when I started doing it was I just after meditating, I was super happy and yeah, I mean, very peaceful and like an harmony inside of me. And I would just walk and be super happy and smile at people and
Mhm,
like appreciate more like little stuff. Or like if someone like I smile at someone in the street and someone smiles back, like I felt like more good. I don't know. It's yeah, gratitude was like a big part.
nice. I definitely feel something similar to that, like, if I'm walking and I see people, I will be happy to see people. I'll also interpret, like, if I see a tree waving,
Mhm.
I'm kind of, um, predisposed to interpret that as something pleasant.
Right, yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes it
But what do you
feels
mean you
like
don't feel gratefulness?
I just don't feel like I never feel like if there's like a sense of like thankfulness that just doesn't occur. And
Oh, it doesn't
it's
occur?
does not occur.
Oh,
Um, yeah, I don't know how to put it. Like I'm often confused by other people thanking me also.
you're confused?
Yeah. I mean, confused may not be the right word, but like it doesn't strike me as appropriate. If somebody thanks me for something, it does not strike me as appropriate.
Why? What do you mean? Like if someone gives you a tissue because we're snoozing, what? Like you think it's weird?
Well, yeah, like no, what I mean is if someone thanks me, it feels weird. And I kind of have to actively think about thanking people. Like I've actually I I for a long time would never thank people. Only recently I was reading something from Aaron Stupel,
Uh-huh.
and I've started thanking people more recently just because of something I read from him. You know, he
That's
talks about
very
like
funny.
social cohesion and I thought it was interesting enough for me to try it. But yeah, I just don't feel thankful. It's more like I definitely feel a lot of it. So around the time I stopped feeling thankful, I started feeling a lot more synchronicities also. And
So, what does that mean?
synchronicities, it's like things happen. mm, But what it really means is that multiple things happen at the same time. So, like, if 2 events happen at the
Oh,
same time, it's a synchronicity. But in this sense, it's like, I really want like a dumb example is like I really want pizza, and then like your roommate buys you pizza, that same day or
mm,
that same moment, or like if
right.
you're thinking about a friend and they call you at that moment, that's a synchronicity. So
Oh,
like
okay.
if you feel like you need something and then that thing immediately appears, that would be a synchronicity.
Mm. So, like, if someone holds you a door in a restaurant, you wouldn't say thank you. Just say you just I don't know what you could say otherwise than thank you or thanks.
Yeah, I would
Well,
just like smile at them or whatever. Like I wouldn't.
that's funny.
but but most people, it's fun because um most people, I think I have like a welcoming sort of face, maybe, I don't know.
Oh yeah, I see.
So, like, if I just smile at somebody, they will wanna talk or they'll, you know, they won't feel like it's rude. I'm not being
Right.
rude
Yeah.
by not saying thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, what made you say thank you again?
I was reading from Aaron,
Yeah.
and he was talking about children and not teaching children to say thank you, but allowing them to discover when it is polite to say thank you in order to make other people happy.
Ah.
And I
Okay.
I was like, "Alright, I guess I can try it," and I've been trying it.
And do you like it?
Not particularly, but it's fine. It doesn't bother me.
That's interesting. And have like meditation made you more uh how can I say this? More more eager to do like good and to be good?
Oh, no. Oh god, no.
What?
No.
Oh,
What? Be good? No, 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 no.
oh wow. It seems like our experiences are very different. What do you mean?
No,
What it
I mean, I wanted to meditate to drink tea, and it definitely helped me. It made me wanna drink more tea. I don't feel, like, altruistic at all. I don't wanna help others in any way. Like, if somebody is in front of me and they need help, I
mhm.
don't really know how to describe it. Most of the time, it seems pretty trivial and, like, simple
Mm.
to help somebody, so, like, fine, okay.
Oh,
It's
okay.
not really even a thought, but I don't
Right.
seek out helping other people, and I definitely don't feel good about helping other people.
Oh, you don't feel so you don't feel good when you help other people?
I don't feel, I let me say, I don't feel better.
Oh, okay. Oh, that is so interesting. So you prefer to help people or to be helped? What does it give you more pleasure?
I don't think either of them give me any particular pleasure.
Helping others?
No, yeah, they don't give me neither of them give me pleasure.
Huh. It seems like your experience is uh very self-centered.
Could be, yeah.
It's interesting. So what gives you pleasure? Like you were saying that um uh so yeah, if you're saying that helping other people and being helped doesn't make you feel better,
Mhm.
what gives you like pleasure? Like this, what exterior situations make you feel better?
Like, I like to drink tea, I do this every day. That's something that really it, uh, it makes me sparkle.
What about like a relation, like any something with a person, like as an interaction or that makes you feel better?
Mm. I do like being around people
Yeah.
sometimes. Generally speaking, I do. I like people. I have friends I like. I'm with my friends often,
Mm-hmm.
but I couldn't say if there's, like, a particular thing that if I do yeah, I couldn't I don't have a clean answer here.
Interesting. Okay.
Is there something, like, for you that you have or that makes you feel
Uh,
better with people?
uh, I haven't meditated in a while,
Mm,
but when I used to, I just so I felt after meditating, I felt very grateful and very peaceful and very like complete and like a sense of completeness. And
mhm,
I was just very eager to like try to kind of show the world like how like my internal state was. So like
mhm,
not like I wanted to be around people so they like I wanted to share like my um kind of my internal state. So I wanted them to like get something out of being with me.
right.
Um uh yeah, I really wanted to I would like often do like stuff like helping if like an old person was carrying groceries, I would just offer to take their groceries. Uh and I mean, and sometimes I still do that kind of stuff, and it gives me a lot of pleasure.
Mhm,
Uh, yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if I can think of other kind of other like situations where I'm more like happy or complete other s- uh, rather than situations where I'm helping people in some way.
mhm.
So it's very surprising for me that meditation like that like you don't necessarily feel better from helping people.
Yeah. Yeah, not at all.
Huh.
Do you get reports from people who say that they feel more calm when they're around you?
Interesting. Uh, whew. I mean, I don't get like reports or like feedback.
Mhm,
Um, but I do think that uh they are like more. Uh, I feel like they have when they are with me, they have the space to be who they are or who they want to be,
right.
and I think that's not very common nowadays because people when you are like with someone like people have this image of who you are, and like if somehow like you just don't match that image in a particular situation, they would get like upset, or they won't embrace you. So
Mhm.
I don't really get like expectations, or I don't try to get expectations for people. Um, yeah, I just try to create a space where they can be who they want to be or who they are. Uh,
Has anyone
but
ever said that they feel like they can be themselves around you?
uh, I don't know. I can't remember.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think I can think of a lot of people that made me that like what I'm describing. They make me feel as well. Not only to me, but they are just that kind of person.
Right.
So there's the very nice guy from my school, and he's like I don't know how to describe him because he's very unlike any other people and any other person that I've met. And most people you can just put on a box, but he's like completely different. And he's like his heart, he's very open. So he has a very, very open heart. It seems like when I'm talking with him, or like when I look at his eyes, like I'm somehow like seeing his soul, and it's like very shiny. So that's like I don't know, it makes me feel very good to be around him.
Mhm.
Um yeah, there are some people like that. I don't think they are very common though.
Yes, yes. I've definitely met people like this, and I also a very large amount of people tell me that about myself. They'll say that they feel better when they're around me, or they feel more calm, or things like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I've heard that many times. I think there is a particular stage of meditation, like meditative achievement. Once you get to something, the way that you are in the world will kind of rub off on other people.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. But like this guy that I was describing, what's very interesting about him, he's that like he's very, 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 very Christian.
Mhm,
So, and he actually took me to a church and the other time, and it was very fun. And I'm actually going tomorrow. But he's like very Christian, and so he really lives like I don't think before him I had like truly met someone that lived like they were Christians or whatever their religion was. They were like they liked the community, and but they didn't really believed like they were Christians. But this guy really like he's really good, and he spreads a lot like the word of God, and always brings different people to the church. So that made me very curious to see like is there something about I don't know God that because clearly like the way he is this is another interesting stuff because I don't think I had prior to this guy met someone that like for example my parents are religious, but I could like perfectly like imagine like if they weren't religious I don't think their life would change that much. But if this guy weren't Christian, like he would just completely be a different person. So it just made me very curious to see whether there's something like in God or in the church that um can like significantly improve my life, like this guy. Um so yeah.
nice.
Are you religious?
Not at all, no.
Mm, but like during meditation, have you had like any experience that you felt it might be God's or be
Um, I don't think so. So, I can describe some experiences. So, there was a time where I felt that the attribution of consciousness was arbitrary. That might sound weird, let me just explain what that means. It was like I could feel like different objects were alive. Like, I would just like, I'm in a room right now, I would feel like my bed was alive, or my pillows were alive, or, like, the top of my room, like different locations would feel like they were alive.
Mhm.
So I would feel that, and it felt when I say it felt arbitrary, it could I could change it, intentionally. So, like, I could make it so that everything around me was alive or nothing around me felt alive, and
What do
so
you
on.
mean? Like, in your mind, they were alive, but, like, objectively, they weren't, right?
Well, they felt alive. It felt like they were, communicating or, they just felt alive. I don't know a better like,
That's
they
interesting.
yeah, they felt like alive.
Huh.
So that that's kind of, um I don't know how to really put it, but I've heard people talk about, like, feeling a panpsychist god. It was kind of like that.
Mm. So it was, like, in the exterior wall, but it was not, like, something that you felt within yourself?
Well, I felt it within myself, like, yeah, I would want to talk to my bed, or I'd want to, um one thing, I would sit in each of my chairs. So every day when I had dinner, I would
Mhm.
sit in a different chair to have, like, uh, equal, intimacy with each of my chairs
Interesting.
because I felt like they were alive.
That's
And
huh.
yeah, yeah, and, like, when I was walking outside, so remember I said, like, when I see the trees waving, it kind of feels like, it would feel like the trees were waving at me. It would feel like,
Oh,
they were, like, blowing me a kiss or something like that. That's what it would feel like.
right. But
So
that's
there's, like,
different
this
because okay, yeah. Oh,
yeah, it's just like a feeling of, like, everything is alive.
oh, that's interesting. But do you still feel that?
I can turn it on, but
What?
I usually don't. I usually don't. If I do that, I will
Yeah.
feel very excited and, like, kind of hyper,
So why
and
wouldn't you
it's
do that?
well, it well, f 2 reasons. Well, no, maybe just 1 reason. It feels like I have to do it, so I don't wanna do it.
Oh, because, like, it
Yeah.
takes effort?
It feels like it takes effort, yes.
Oh, okay. Hmm.
But that one's very accessible. It's like, I could do it anytime. Like, I'm doing it right now, and it feels really great. It just I feels like I have to do it.
Mm, that's interesting. But, like, this like, the object, like, your chair isn't it's just in your do you feel like it's any do you have any, like, visuals in your mind that, like, the chair is moving or speaking with you, or is it, like, only, uh yeah, I don't know, like, how does it feel?
Yeah, it doesn't feel so there's not really any movement. Well, let me clarify. There's not any, okay. So, I also generally well, not generally, I also often have visual phenomena. I wouldn't they're not like, hallucination type things, not like but, like, how, like, the walls are crawling, that type of thing?
Yeah,
Are you
yeah.
that type of phenomena. So, I
Uh,
have that pretty often, and it'll seem different for different objects. So, different objects will kind of move in different directions. So, they seem segmented, and that can change and stuff. So, there will be that type of movement, but not
mhm.
like, it doesn't look like the chair's talking, actually, like, moving a lip or something like that. There's none of that happens.
Mm,
It's more like
that's
a vibe. It's
interesting.
it's kind of like, if you were to walk into a house with a cat and the cat's not
Mhm.
talking, but you, like, feel like, "Oh, the cat's welcoming," or the cat's whatever.
Oh,
It's like that.
right. Oh, okay. But do you think this was like this came from meditation?
Yes.
Huh, okay.
Yeah.
So that's interesting. But, So, like, but did you ever felt, because a lot of people, like, when they meditate, they feel like they are connected with, uh, like, they feel like a sense of God. So you never
Mhm.
felt that?
I've definitely felt pleasant things, and I've felt like, well, I'm saying felt, so I can hear like, there'll be times where I hear, um, I don't know how to describe it. I usually think of it more as like, frogs croaking maybe, or like crickets or something like that. Sounds like
Mhm.
very distant. They seem distant, but they sound really loud,
Mm.
and it's extremely pleasant, of course, it feels pleasant. And it's like all consuming. Um,
Oh.
so, that's a just a something, an auditory phenomena. And the feeling of it is just very pleasant. So, like, it feels like, for me, it feels like almost like accelerating, like, in a car, you're, like, accelerating. It feels
Yeah.
like that, but, like, in all directions.
Hmm.
So, I think that if a person feels that, they might say that they feel God or they feel something like that. Like, to me, it's just like I feel these pleasant sensations, and I can describe those sensations, but
Oh,
I wouldn't
okay.
say that I didn't have a sense of the divine or anything like that. I just yeah, I've been a pretty atheist all my life, so I I've never had a framework of spirituality or God or anything like that. So any of the experiences that I'm having are not going through a lens of God.
Mm, interesting. Huh.
Have you had a sense of God?
Uh, no, no. Uh, it's funny because, like, when I go to this church, like, I'm not religious as well,
Mhm,
but, like, it almost, like, seems to other people that I'm trying to become religious, because I don't know, I'm really I'm really open, like, to change my mind, and I go there and I feel very good, and, like, I understand, and I, for the most part, agree with the message from, the service.
mhm,
But, like, it seems like there's a block, and somehow, like, I'm not seeing something that these other people seem to be seeing.
mhm,
Um, yeah, I'm not sure, like, what's the block, and, like, people say, "Oh, you need to surrender so that God can, uh, love you." Like, I have no idea what the hell that means. What do you mean?
yeah,
Yeah, I mean, sometimes people say stuff that I just think it's so weird. Like, people say, like, that kind of stuff, or like, "Oh, God loves you, but you need to love him." Uh, yeah, like, God loves you and wants to love you, but you need to open your heart. Like, what the hell? What does I don't know what I should be doing. What does that mean? So, I
mhm,
don't know. Like, I agree, I think I agree with most messages, but I'm not sure if I think there's, like, a God, and if I ever think that there's a God, the only, like, way I think I could think that there's a God would be, like, through an experience, like feeling a God.
mhm.
Um, so it's very interesting. It makes me very curious every time I go to the church, because these people are, like, really, really good people, and they just claim that the reason they are good is because of God. So
Mhm.
it makes me curious about that.
Yeah, yeah.
I think religion is made. Let me, yeah, let me start over. I'm reading this book called The Mortalist by Alan Harrington. And he makes the case religion is made so that we don't think about death.
You don't think about what?
So we don't think about death.
Oh, yeah, yeah, that's a good point because yeah, the other time I was talking to this friend and he was like I asked him like, shouldn't you be eager to die since you're going to heaven and
Right.
heaven is like 100 times better? And he was
Right.
like he didn't said that he was eager, but he said that he wasn't afraid of dying, and I was just
Yeah. You can't
so
you
like,
can't
what
think
the
too
heck?
you can't think too much. It's gotta be like it's gotta be obviously it's an irrational static need, but it's gotta be like you gotta be dodging and cutting and that sort of thing.
Right. And there's like I really like to ask people like in the church if they are saved. And I really like this concept of being saved and God forgiving you of your sins because I don't know, it just seems so complex and so sophisticated.
It's not that it's complex. It's just it's by design. It's not meant to be understood.
Right.
Like by design, it's meant
And
to.
it's interesting because like the only way you can be saved is if you believe you are saved. So like
Yeah,
nobody like I I can't possibly be saved because I just don't think I am. So that's very interesting.
yeah. So I'm making the transition out of um, Christianity, the whole religion side, into. I mean, I guess you could say atheist, but essentially just removing all the irrationalities out of my life.
Yeah.
And a big one is religion, especially because I grew up around um, Christian atmospheres. My mom is a devout Christian,
Yeah.
and in Africa, where I'm from in Ethiopia, it's heavily, it's like it's taboo, like almost taboo. Like you can't, you know what I mean? You can't.
Right.
So there's like there's just no God doesn't love you. Like and then like yeah, like the whole like it's a bunch of rationalities. Mostly
Irrationalities?
God.
Yeah.
Mostly because people are scared of one, either scared of death or just some sort of reality that they're not willing to face, so they go to religion. And I've felt it before where I was in the situation where I thought there was no comeback, and
Yeah.
I was about to be a devout Christian, bro. I was like, God, forgive me, and then the situation didn't happen. I was like, fuck you, God. So I was like, nope. I was having my own like Rick and Morty moment. Remember that scene where? Do you guys watch Rick and Morty?
No, I've never seen it.
No.
So it's this science genius grandpa with like a bunch of like he's an asshole, just shitty personality, impulsive control, whatever, whatever, whatever. And there's a scene where he's about to die and he's trying to fix this thing so he doesn't die. And he's like, God, please help me, God, please, please, please. If you help me with this, like I'll believe in you. I'll devote myself. And then he fixes it. It was like, ha, fuck you, God, I cheated you. I figured it out. So I think that sentiment is all in all true.
Mm.
Mm.
Yeah.
And like other thing that makes me think that most people don't really believe their own religion is just
Oh,
like if they like my for example my house parents like they are very religious
yeah.
and like
Where do
just
you live?
yesterday my like I asked my host mom if she was saved and she said yes, but like her kids are not religious, so like how could she not like how could not be her number one priority trying to save their kids in order to spend eternity with them on heaven?
Yeah.
Like
Mhm.
it just seems so weird.
Yeah. Again, you can't like the more I think about it also, I think it's the trap. Like, I don't know what you guys think, whether it's society should be like this or like whether it's claps and or whatever. But I used to think like you do the right things, you get the right you just life goes well when you do the right things. And then usually the right things are defined by the church. You go to the church, you pray, you work hard, whatever, whatever. But like I think that's like the first test in life is like do you fall for it? Do you fall for the whole
That
religion?
that's very interesting because like the other day I was talking with someone and like I was asking them, so the reason you're good is because of God, and they were saying yes, the reason I'm good is because of God. So, but like that doesn't seem like the reason I am good is not because of God. It's just because it's the right thing. It's just yeah,
Right. So and then also like whenever coaches, when they win, they go, first and foremost, I would like to thank God. It's like, did the other team not believe in God? Was
right,
sides like, what are we? You know what I mean?
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I think the more I think about it, that's the test of life. It's like, no, people can do good things and still die and still fail, and people can do bad things and they still succeed. And then, like, the nice guy doesn't win. Then the one that knows how to win wins. Like the one that
hmm,
figures out the game and plays the game wins. And yeah, so yeah,
yeah. That's very
that's
interesting.
I don't have such a hostile, disposition against religious people. Or maybe I only think
yeah,
about
because you haven't, it hasn't wasted years of your life, or it hasn't left you confused, or haven't hasn't like that idea hasn't done anything harmful to you. That's probably why.
yeah, I've never been religious. I was not religious as a kid even.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I also think that the things that people talk about, I think that they're, at least referencing real feelings, like the feeling of being saved. I think that I there is a feeling that people are feeling and calling it that.
Right, I agree. Yeah, yeah.
I agree, but that's almost like you do some. It's like I think it's a psychological and it's a psychologically real thing where you do something really fucked up, and it's gonna be on your conscience. But guess what? You can dump it on Jesus Christ, and essentially, like once you do that, you're not gonna be able to solve it because you've given it to quote unquote God. So like you've sort of mentally moved it to something else and somewhere else. It's like this black hole where you can just dump all your mistakes and whatnot. It's like whenever, like I don't know if you guys saw, not making a moral judgment, but this forgot her name, this girl that slept with 1,000 guys in 24 hours. She
Oh
went and
yeah.
got she went and got baptized and got saved again. And it's like, okay.
What? Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's Christian now. So if
She
you're
went to
into,
baptize.
yeah, she went
I
and
mean,
got
she
baptized.
claimed that she was saved
Yeah, yeah. So
because,
like,
like, in reality, you're like, you can't be like 100% sure. Like, the only requirement that seems to exist to be saved is you believing that you're saved, but then you don't know, like, if when you die, like, God will take everyone that believes they are saved or not.
right, right.
Yeah.
It's just yeah. So, like the feeling is real that you can dump your guilt and whatnot into something else that is like a black hole, something that doesn't exist. But that also takes away from the possibility that you can work through the guilt and go back to being this great guy and like be accountable for your mistakes. And then, like, if you fucked up enough in life, well, then you fucked up. So you gotta move on. You gotta build from there. Like, I don't know how she would do it, but like, I'm sure there were people that told her like, "Hey, don't do that," or like, I don't know. I'm not,
Mm,
and I'm not trying to like. I would make a moral judgment as to she made the wrong decision or not. If like I'm very like I'm not. How do I put this? I don't go out on dates quite a bit, or like I'm kind of devoid of that whole scene. So I'm just like, I don't know. Like I guess it's a bad thing. Yeah, it's a shitty thing. She slept with 1,000 men, bro. Like, okay, yeah, I'm making a moral judgment. That's the wrong decision. Like,
mm.
that's just like, bruh.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't want to be around her.
But like I also tend to think that at least like the people in the church that I go to are like
Yeah.
just way happier than not than like secular people. And they can always
Right.
like comfort themselves with like if something goes wrong in their life, they can say, "Oh,
Got
it's
it.
God's plan,
Right.
and that's happening for a reason."
Right. Because of course you're gonna be more happy when like, your explanation to something going bad is not, "Oh, I fucked up," like, "That was me."
Right.
Or when something doesn't go your way, it's like, "Shit, I could have done better," because
Yeah.
that feels terrible. But if you say, "Well, it's in God's plan," it's like, "Shit, good move, man."
Yeah, it's like
I don't know.
not on me. So let's just
Right,
yeah.
right. It's like, no, it's something else someone else says. So it's like, shit.
Yeah.
So sorry, I
It's
didn't seem
interesting.
to hijack the conversation like that, but
So, but when you spoke to Tyler, he said it was a good thing, right, for society to have religion?
Yeah. Yeah, he's very much I mean, and I agree with him. I would I mean, I
really,
wouldn't say that I would like more religion, but I would
really,
say that I would that, uh I would say that I would like that people are religious, even though I'm not.
Mhm.
Um,
Why?
why? Um, so, like, first, it gives you, like, a sense of community. People,
Mhm.
like, tend to be more, like, having their buddies back and, um, like, if something goes wrong in your life, you have people to lean on, and, like, secular people don't have, like, that community, so, like, they are more likely to be just, depressed or whatever. Um, second, like, it gives you, like I don't agree with this, but, like, some religious people, like, say that the Bible gives them, like, gives them the knowledge of, like, what's the difference between what's good and bad, and,
Mhm.
like, I don't agree with the Bible at 100%, but I think, um, like, people living according to the morals of the Bible, it's not a bad thing. Um,
Hmm. I don't know, man.
so
I think it creates more divide than it does unity.
you think?
Yes, like first, it depends on the scale you look at it. If you look at it as at a global scale, like
Yeah.
Muslims and Christians are trying to kill each other. It's like, all right, why? Because we're different. Wait, what's different about us? Because one of us worships a god and his name is Allah and it doesn't exist. And the other ones worship a god and his name is God or Jesus, whichever we call it. And Jesus was a real person, but he wasn't God or God doesn't exist. So we're just gonna fight because yeah, why not? Like religion makes sense as the initial or made sense as the initial, like as Popper puts it, the initial attempt at understanding reality.
Mm,
But now we have better ways of understanding reality. Like morality isn't based on religion no more. At least I'm constructing my morality
mhm,
based on not really based on religion because there's really nothing there, but more so on like objectivist kind of Ayn Rand, but not so like strict or not because she's strict, she just doesn't know how to write. She says the right things in the wrong way. But like
mm,
everybody should do that because that's a rational society. Meaning, me and you can create a win-win situation. I don't care if you're Muslim or Christian or whatever, but like you and I both can win,
mhm,
and you can construct. You can be a selfish person. You don't have to, like, you're not a sinner. Like, man,
mhm,
that's the worst. Like, I hope I'm making sure my kid doesn't go through this whole thinking if I ever have a son or whatever. Like you like your whole life you were told, hey, like the original sin, you're a sinner, and like you need to be saved by Jesus Christ. And it's like, what the fuck? What did I do? Like I didn't even do anything yet. Why do I need to be saved? And this is your whole life. You're just like, I don't know. I think religion should I think we should rationally remove religion from society altogether and be like we have better mechanism of getting along and deciding morality, which is false Popperian slash Deutschian slash objectivist slash something that has an argument behind it.
uh, Interesting.
Yeah.
Do you think that, just curious about this, uh, if we can make a Popperian framing for original sin, like we're all infinite in our ignorance, first thing, and
Right.
then morality is knowledge, and we don't come pre-built with moral
Right.
knowledge.
100%.
So
Right. Right. But see that, and that's also like Brett Hall says quite a bit about this. He says philosophy comes before religion. Like a Popperian person can be a Christian because he knows it's just a fiction we've agreed to, and it kind of serves a purpose. And he would define original sin as, like you said, all of us being infinitely ignorant, or something along that nature. Um, but like there are also complete contradictions because Jesus saves you once and for all. You're a saved person. Well, what does
Right.
that mean if before I was infinitely ignorant and now I'm saved? What am I? Like,
mhm,
what am I? Am I an infallible person? Well, yeah, but you could reasonably say that if you're a
mhm,
Popperian and you're saved now, and it's like, and now you can go around judging people and shit, and then kind of isolating yourself. So I don't know. Sorry, didn't mean to get all. Oh,
That's interesting. I have so many questions. Like I was saying, like, are you saved? Like when you are saved, are like saved, and then like no matter the sins you do, you keep like you're still saved if you ask God forgiveness for your sins, or like is there a way like in which you can be saved at one time, but like if you do this and this, you stop being saved?
are you asking if somebody's a
Yeah.
Popperian Christian?
Oh no 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 no! I was
You're
asking
asking
about
me
yeah
what I actually think.
yeah.
Bro, heaven and hell are just made up things that people believe so that they don't have to face death. That we are, if we don't figure something out, we are going to die, and everything is just going to disappear, and we're just going to die. That's there's no afterlife. Like,
mhm,
you know what I mean? It's just you
Yeah.
have to face that fact, and I don't mean to be gloomy, but like there's hope, which is like we can be creative. We can figure it out, and that's why I think we should like. Well, see, it makes sense. Like the more I think about it, and I read it from the book as well. The guy says like we beg for the gods not to kill us, and yet they still kill us. Like every religion, the essential claim is like praying to the gods that they don't kill us, and yet they keep killing us. So now it's like, well, we want to rebel, but we want to be careful so that they don't just randomly kill us instead. You know what I mean? So, like, I
Interesting.
yeah,
understand somebody being a Christian because they haven't figured out a way not to die. I think that's rational because, like, look, bro, like, in case there's heaven, I gotta watch out for myself here. But if you don't think there's heaven, then, and that doesn't mean you act all reckless and just like destroy the world or whatever because nothing matters or whatever. No, 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 no. Like, you have to be existentially optimist. Like from the
Hmm.
bare bone, you have to be an existentialist optimist, meaning problems are real. Like death is real. We're on a planet that's real. Like, and for some reason or whatever, we're up and we're awake, and you should stay awake. We don't want to go back to death.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Now,
Yeah.
there's a few would like for me to read for you from the book. Is that cool, Zach? I don't mean to just like hijack the conversation.
we're just talking.
Right? I'm just
It's really, Salvador, he called this
oh,
space, so I'm really following what he desires.
Salvador.
Oh, go ahead. Of course.
All right, I'm gonna read for you from page 10 of the Immortalist.
Are you talking about the begin? What book is that?
It's called the Immortalist by Alan Harrington,
Okay.
and he goes, and I quote: "In the East, we've been more subtle, attempting to place it. So place it means to like not ask for forgiveness, but something along those lines. P L A C ate, place it, meaning so place it, make someone less angry or hostile. Okay, yep. Make someone less angry or less hostile. Okay, so in the East, we've been more subtle, attempting to place a destiny by an elaborate pretense of not wanting to survive, or preferring nirvana to the eternal return. But but elsewhere, listen to the wails, songs, shouts, hymns, and chants. The voices of Islam, Judaism, Christian, and atheism join as one. Mossad units in Red Square, as well as Vatican City, combine their energies in a single mighty appeal. Save us. For the beauty and cruelty in the world, the kindness and the murder are art trying to illuminate this wilderness. Speculations of philosophers and the descent into drugs and drunkenness. Today's wildly emotional crowds rushing around the world's streets, all are organized around death and designed to protect each of us from annihilation here and elsewhere. This motherfucker can write. This motherfucker can write. Oh, and then the quote that Zach, the quote that I tagged you on, um, was Dostoevsky, wasn't it?
Yeah, Dostoevsky, yeah.
Yeah, Dostoevsky, some Russian guy. He goes, Dostoevsky penetrates our situation with one quick thirst. In the possessed, Kirillov, the engineer, about to become his own god by committing suicide. Quote, man simply invented God in order not to kill himself. That is the sum of the universal history down to this moment.
Mhm.
Mwah. In any case, yeah, so we need to, I think religion needs to, like, we don't want to rationally remove it, like ban it or whatever, because that doesn't work. But we need to argumentatively, plainly state that there's nothing good that can come out of religion because the best that can come out of religion is already here, which is science, and our pastors wear white robes and they're doctors and they save us and they heal the blind and they cure the ill and all that stuff.
Mm,
What's your sense of, like, meditation and all of those pleasant feelings of that sort?
Um, I don't have one.
Mm.
I don't.
Or
I don't.
prayer being, like, a pleasant thing?
I see. That's another part of my life that I'm kind of I haven't paid attention to, I should say.
Mhm.
And it's like feelings and all that stuff. I'm very archaic and very undeveloped in that environment.
Mhm.
Like usually I emotionally check out whenever I'm irritated or whatever. Even like in normal conversations, I'm not emotionally checked out right now, but like normally, like I just do what I need to do and just go away. That's not right, but I'm just admitting it. Maybe I'll fix it eventually.
Mhm.
did you guys saw that David was on the podcast with Edwin and he said that he was writing a new book?
Yeah, definitely. Excited for it.
That's
The rationality book.
the is that the name?
I think it's about irrationality, I think. I don't
That
know
is
if it has a
so
name yet.
exciting.
Yeah.
Has he been writing that for a long time? Do you know?
Yeah, I think he's been writing it for, like, 10 years or something.
What?
Yeah.
10 years?
Yeah, he's been talking about it for a while too.
What? Wow.
Mhm.
Had no idea before today. Well,
Yeah. Yeah, super excited about that.
yeah. Does he have any deadline or any?
No, I don't think he's ever set any, like, specific deadline. He has said that he was, like, 95% finished, but, of course, the last, few percent points are the most difficult.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay, it's nice. Well, this was fun.
Yeah. Yeah, nice talking with you, Salvador, man. Anytime, I'm always available. I really like having these spaces, so, yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's very fun, and you're
appreciate you
very
messaging me
good
and asking
talker.
for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, have a good one. Thank you so much for
Alright.
doing this.
I'll see you.
See you. Bye bye.
Bye. See you, Z. See you, Craig, and everybody listening, if anybody's recorded. See y'all later.